Hello, vinyl community. It's Friday, the 14th of August, as I'm filming, but I won't be putting this up for another while, maybe not for another week or so, before you see this, because I have a video up at the moment, so I'm just going to wait a while before I throw this one up. Loads of stuff to show you. I'm going to start off straight away with something that I picked up just yesterday. Just 2 seconds. A lot of want list items have been knocked off my list. A lot of the items that I'm going to show you, major want list items. Starting off with one, a very major, large one, which I picked up just yesterday. This completes the Ditch Trilogy by Neil Young. This is Tonight's the Night, released in 1975, recorded in 73. This is the album which was inspired by the untimely death of Crazy Horse guitarist Danny Whitten, and also roadie Bruce Berry. Very, very dark album, one of Neil Young's best. It's not one of his most accessible, certainly, but it is definitely one of his finest works. The so-called Ditch Trilogy, three albums which came out in 73, 74 and this in 75. Time Fades Away, On the Beach and Tonight's the Night. I now have all three of those, and the three of them are quite difficult enough to find on vinyl, so this now completes that. Title track, Tonight's the Night. The lyrics refer to Bruce Berry, Danny Whitten, who died in 72 of a drug overdose. He's also paid tribute to in this album by Neil Young. It features a vocal performance from him on Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown. This is something I picked up there's a guy who I call to now and again who runs a flea market stall. This is a UK pressing on Reprise, but it doesn't appear to be a UK first pressing. It kind of matches the UK first pressing in every way except for the matrix numbers. I can't quite find out which pressing this is. I imagine it's an early repress, but anyway, it's in very, very, very nice condition, and it's great to finally own this masterpiece on vinyl. Now, last weekend, there was a big vinyl fair here last weekend in town on both Friday and Saturday. I came along Friday. I just made two pickups on Friday. I was a bit disappointed overall with the kind of offering, with the selection of vinyl and sellers, but I did make two purchases. One is from a group who I have shown stuff by them previously, and that is the Bonzo Dog Band, the Bonzo Dog Band, but here their name is shortened to merely the Bonzo Dog Band. This is, I think this is their third studio album. It's called Tadpoles rather. This came out in 1969, and this is a 1986 reissue on Edsel Records, and it recreates the die cut sleeve of the original, so you have hours of fun with these guys. He's having some musical thoughts there, and this the songs that are featured on this they're all songs that are taken from a British TV series called Do Not Adjust Your Set, which was, technically speaking, a children's program on which the Bonzo Dog Band were the kind of house band, but it's a show which had a big cult following among adults, and it's notable for kind of three of the Monty Python crowd were on the started off on this program, so it's kind of notable for kind of being a kind of proto Monty Python kind of, you know. But anyway, this album, there's some of their better known songs such as Urban Spaceman, their cover of Monster Mash, great fun, as you might expect with an album with sleeve like that. So you know, it's kind of yeah, the Bonzo's always a kind of a fun guaranteed. I got that from the same seller as I got the next item, and this is by Soft Machine, and this is Bundles. This is from '75. It is, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it's the one that came after 7. First 7, I think it was first 7 anyway. First 7 Soft Machines were all numbered individually. So this is the first one which just had a kind of an individual title. So 75, it's original UK pressing on Harvest. Yeah, it's an extremely good album. I had seen this one before, but the same seller has had it for quite a while. I passed it over previously because it's Robert Wyatt. Because I've been specifically looking for the more Robert Wyatt period. He had long left at this stage, but quite a collection of 70s porn actor moustaches there. But anyway, it's not their best album, but it is an exceptionally good album all the same, because you know, there's excellent drumming. The opening track, Hazard Profile Part 1, is really gets things off to a great start. So it's not probably, it's as I said, not their best one, but it's still an exceptionally good album and a very nice pickup all the same. So that's Bundles by Soft Machine. Now I will be returning to Soft Machine. I returned to the fair the following day. There was another seller there who hadn't been there on the Friday, and now this seller, I've bought a lot of stuff off him in the past, and he's very good on pricing. Now the records, he doesn't always have the kind of great stuff on, but he is very good on pricing, and I have bought a lot of stuff off him before. So I went browsing, and straight away, well, actually, I was kind of a bit short on cash, but he had several albums actually which were on my want list, several of which I had to leave behind, including Amon Dul 2's Wolf City, which I was gutted at having to leave behind, but I just didn't have the money He had other stuff, but anyway, onto the stuff that I did buy. Massive item knocked off my want list again. Hot Rats by Frank Zappa. I've been after this for a long time. I had seen several copies for sale by sellers, here in town, but always looking for a lot of money for it. Always too expensive. This is a second. This is a UK second pressing on Reprise. I probably don't need to talk too much into this. I'm sure a lot of you already have it or are already very familiar with it, but for those who aren't familiar with it, it is almost entirely instrumental. Most well-known track on it is Peaches on Regalia, which kicks things off. Is the opening track. Fantastic instrumental track. Also, the only track which features vocals is Willie the Pimp, and vocals are courtesy of where is he? Captain Beefheart. It came out roughly around the same time as Captain Beefheart's Trout Mask replica, so in a lot of ways it's kind of a companion piece to Trout Mask replica, as that album was produced by Zappa. Amazing cover image. I think she was a groupie. I think this one of the GTO girls, as they call them. So I finally have this in my grasp. And now on to the next item, and another absolutely huge want list item which I had been looking for a long time, and that is Soft Machine Third, their third album from 1970, and this one does feature Robert Wyatt on drums. This is an original UK first pressing double album, and it is in absolutely immaculate condition. Fantastic condition altogether. This is another one which I'd seen around occasionally for going for huge money. I'd seen it around. It's generally, I'd never seen it going for less than €40. I got two of these, Hot Rats and Soft Machine Third, for €33, the two of them. So that was an absolute bargain. Anyway, on to this. This is quite possibly their best album. Acknowledged by, most people do acknowledge this as their magnum opus. It's an absolute juggernaut of an album, jazz fusion masterpiece. Robert Wyatt's drumming, everything about this is just absolutely amazing, and I'm just absolutely delighted to have this finally, an original copy in my hands. Okay, so so the two of them I got from the same seller. I had paid for them. When I did a bit more digging through another, because he had quite a lot of stuff, I did a bit more digging through some of his albums which I hadn't yet looked through, and I again came across two items that were just, I just had to grab them, because they were, again, these were on my want list. At this stage I had to leave Amundul to Wolf City behind, unfortunately. Both by the same artist. This is Nico, of Nico and Velvet Underground fame, and this is her debut album, the Marble Index. This originally came out in 1968. This is a reissue, a Belgian reissue, possibly dating from the 80s. This was music on it was arranged by John Cale. Musically, this is unlike anything else which came out in the year 1968. This is very, very dark. It has a kind of sounds almost like something that might have come from medieval times in a way, kind of very, very dark. This album was a huge influence on the goth movement in the 80s, and it's probably when this particular issue was reissued, because very, very kind of dark and disturbing album. Not for everybody, but highly recommended if you're looking for a challenging listening and amazing cover image as well. Now, also, I grabbed Nico's next album, which came after the Marble Index, Desert Shore. This is an original UK pressing from 1971, complete with former owner's name and date. So this was the follow-up to the Marble Index. It follows a kind of a similar vein. The cover image and the photographs came from a movie, which I think, a movie called La Citeris Intérieure, directed by Philippe Garrel, who I think was she was involved with at the time. I have never seen the movie, but I don't know. It sounds like a bit of an ordeal, to be quite honest. Some of the songs on this also appeared on the movie soundtrack, but again, this is a very challenging kind of very unusual for its time work, and again, John Cale was involved in this, in the musical arrangements. Now this particular album was Throbbing Gristle, or actually some of the members of Throbbing Gristle, recorded an album. They kind of a reimagining of this album with the same title, which came out in 2012. I also have that. Very, very different to this. It's kind of difficult to compare them because, but anyway, this is an original UK pressing, very, very hard to find, and incredibly, I got the two of them, both that and the Marble Index, for €15 for the two of them, which is just absolutely amazing, because Desert Shore itself, this particular pressing, generally goes for 25 to 30 euros or more, and they're both in absolutely perfect condition. So that was an absolute fantastic bargain. Okay, so that was on the Saturday. Later that evening, I travelled home to my parents to spend a few days. Um, where I come from, it's in a region called West Cork. It's about 60 miles from the city. While I was down there, I travelled with my mother to a nearby town called Kenmare. We went for a bit of lunch. This was on a Sunday. It was quite busy, and afterwards I decided I'd just go for a quick look around town, because there's a few market stalls and stuff, and I noticed there was a junk shop open, which I'd never seen, which I hadn't seen last time I was down there. Kind of a brick and brack shop selling kind of antiques and all kinds of junk and stuff. I noticed there was a stack of vinyl. I had a look through it. A lot of it was like kind of water damage kind of stuff. There was like records that were just sleeves with no records in them, and they were just kind of thrown together. But one of them really caught my eye. This is a soundtrack movie, and it's actually a double soundtrack on the one album. So it's a soundtrack to two different films. Twisted Nerve, which is by Bernard Herrmann, who did the music for Taxi Driver and also Hitchcock's Psycho. This was a British horror movie which came out in 1969, which he did the music for. Quite a famous score, and there's a famous kind of whistling. What's it actually called? Yeah, it's kind of a famous whistling. It also turned up in Kill Bill, that Tarantino movie. But the other movie is it's a movie called Les Bicyclettes de Belsailles, which, despite its title, is actually about a British movie. And this soundtrack on this is more pop based. It's by Les Reed and Barry Mason. Now, one of the songs here it features a band called Episode 6, which actually features members of what would go on to be Deep Purple, and the vocals are by Ian Gillan. Now, I got this for €5. This is actually a very, very rare soundtrack album. It goes for, I checked it up on Discogs. The lowest it's going for on Discogs is €50. It's very rare and very sought after. Unfortunately, there is a large scratch on this side, the bicyclette, the whatever it's called side. There is a scratch which affects the first two tracks, so the first two tracks jump on that, unfortunately. Other than that, it's fine, and there is a little bit of it was kind of stuck to another record, so there's a little bit of slight bit of damage there. But other than that, yeah, very rare. It came out in Polydor in 1969, and it is very, very rare and sought after. So that was quite an interesting find. When I was when I was waiting for the bus to go back to the city, I popped into a charity shop. Made a couple of interesting pickups. Jean-Michel Jarre Equinox. I already have this. I already have the UK kind of Virgin edition. So this is a French pressing. Just show that on the Dreyfus label. Interesting label there with that kind of fat lady. So Ben Costello, this is for you. As I already have this, you can have that. Also another interesting kind of a find that which I made. This, I was looking at this. The sleeve is very badly water damaged, as you can see. Looking at this, thought, well, looks interesting. This is called Hair Overing, and it's by a performer called Marushka. This is actually a Dutch private pressing from 1981. Marushka is this lady here. So it's I took a chance on it. It was only €1. Like the sleeve is water damaged, but the disc itself is in perfect condition. It's an interesting kind of an album. It was an album which was recorded almost entirely by female musicians. I think the only male is this guy here. There's a very interesting array of instruments. It's kind of like folk. It's kind of a wide variety of influences. There's like folk, kind of a slight bit of jazz, pop. I quite like this. The vocals are in Dutch, which is kind of a bit of a, for me, I don't know what, but it's the instrumental, the kind of the music on it is actually quite, and the level of musicianship on it, displayed on it, is very impressive, and it's I quite enjoyed playing this. As I said, it's a private press. Came out in 1981. It seems to be very, very, very obscure. It is on Discogs, but other than that, can't really find out much about it. It just seems to be one of these obscurities. But anyway, interesting find. Now, okay, so about 2 videos ago I showed a big stack of CDs which I got in my charity shop.